Hi guys, we're here with David, a cosmetic dentist based in Newcastle, and we're going to be having a little bit of chat about the unique way he goes about his work. So, hi David.
How you doing? Nice to come and chat to you.
Yes.
Looking forward to what we can talk about, really.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. The reason that I kind of wanted to get in and have a little bit of a chat to you, been kind of following you on your social media for a while now, and it was just to kind of understand your take on kind of the way that you're marketing yourself as a dentist, because it's very unique in terms of the way that you're kind of putting yourself out there loads on social media and building up a presence that way, and I haven't really seen that. So I just wanted to come in and ask you a few questions if you're okay with that, and we'll go from there.
No, absolutely. I think it is different. Obviously, some people routinely use social media. In dentistry, I suppose it's not as common that you would have a social presence as such, or an Instagram account for being a dentist.
Yeah.
Very common in the fitness industry, very common in certain industries like that. Dentistry, not so much. So why did I start to sort of reach out like that? I think the thing with dentistry is nobody likes the dentist. Nobody likes the dentist. Nobody wants to come in. There's always a barrier straight away coming to see a dentist. There's that stigma attached to it, with whether that's due to the National Health Service and busy dental practices, seeing a different dentist every time you go. So for me, it's really useful to be able to break down that barrier and actually just connect with people in a more informal and sort of nicer way.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I've done it. I think 50% of the population don't see a dentist. So you can fight and be competitive about trying to access every single patient. The reality is there's a lot of people out there who don't already see a dentist. So you can put yourself out there, be approachable, then I think it really starts to make it easier for people to come to you.
Yeah, that's obviously, I was having a conversation not too long ago about there's 2 billion active users on Facebook platform, which obviously filters in massively into Instagram as well. And obviously with a lot of industries, they're not putting themselves out there on that platform, and it's crazy because it's free advertising to a certain degree. Obviously there are ways of kind of paying for it and stuff like that, but from the most part, it's putting yourself in front of where 90% of people, especially within a certain age bracket, are going to be spending most of their time in terms of looking at marketing material, like kind of seeing adverts on the side of the bus and stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of almost out of the window, because most people, when I walk past the bus stop, are all down looking on their phone anyway. So if you're not kind of directly in front of them, it must have like a negative impact. So just talking about a little bit of what you do. So being a cosmetic dentist, do you think that that's kind of one of the reasons that you thought it was best to kind of get your stuff in front of people visually, in terms of, obviously Instagram is at its source a photo tool. It's to show people photos. Obviously they've brought captions in as well, like later on, but and videos and stuff. But is that kind of one of the main reasons you thought, right, cosmetic dentistry, it's about also having healthy teeth, but also having kind of visually appealing teeth? Do you think that's one of the kind of main reasons?
Yeah, I think absolutely it's easier if you're a cosmetic dentist or doing a lot more cosmetic style dentistry. It's easier to be able to then build an Instagram. If you are just a general dentist, no one wants to look at pictures of metal fillings on back teeth. So it does make it easier to do that. And I think from my point of view, like you just nailed on about the health aspect. I would always say, although I do primarily cosmetic dentistry, the basis of everything is making sure everything's healthy. And I think sometimes what we do see is that a lot of people who don't like their appearance of the teeth generally have some form of health problem with the teeth. Be that like needing professional cleaning, needing some straightening, because usually things like decay or things that are wrong with your teeth don't aesthetically look nice.
Yeah.
So I think although some people may think they need cosmetic dentistry, some just need general dentistry.
Yeah.
Instagram has become a good way, and Facebook, to educate. So to get out there and say like, look, this is what's possible. don't need to drill your teeth down. We can do it with composite bonding or whitening or Invisalign. We can do things without having to do that. And I think the flip side of that is some of the people who are really good at dentistry in particular, really good at pushing Instagram, are some of the dental centres in places like Turkey.
Yeah.
And obviously, that's definitely something we should probably go on to talk about at some point, is that you've got these big companies in places like Turkey paying a lot of money to influencers to advertise that they've had the teeth done in Turkey, and from that basis, we're getting a lot of people then wanting to go over there.
Yeah.
So I think the only way to kind of counter that is kind of doing it yourself and actually putting your own stuff on Instagram and being available to chat about these things.
I think within a certain one of the conversations that we've had in the past is kind of saying that if you are having to spend such a vast amount of money on affiliate marketing in that sense, like paying for someone to come and get their teeth done, paying for their travel to come out there, paying influencers, and they're not always. There is different tiers of influencers, I suppose. Obviously, like right at the top, you've got your likes of your like A-list celebrities, like your Kardashians and stuff, and then all the way down to kind of people who are recently off of reality TV programs and things like that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that,
Yeah.
but when you're kind of looking at people paying influencers who don't really fall into those higher brackets, money to come out there, that's probably not a great sign. I don't know if you'd agree with that, but if kind of what I've seen with you especially is when we spoke, you've even turned people down for treatments if you thought that there was a like kind of healthy or more sustainable way of doing it.
Yeah.
I know I came in to see you quite a while ago and you said, well actually I would probably avoid doing that because we don't want to damage your teeth at all.
Yeah.
We can do them kind of more naturally without getting kind of veneers and stuff. This is what you hear all the time. So I think it's definitely really important to kind of through social media make sure that you're sticking with your kind of guns in terms of like being
it's just being authentic.
It's
I think it's knowing what you kind of believe in. With the hard thing now I think we all have is you get bombarded with Instagram and you can almost start questioning, am I doing it right? Should I be doing lots of veneers? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? I think if you know your true values and what you're about, then you just kind of stick with that. And I definitely that's what's the challenge now, that actually so many people don't actually know what their true values are. They kind of just go with whatever's kind of in, I suppose.
I think one thing that I've noticed that influencer marketing is on a bit of a decline in terms of the engagement that they get. I've seen some recent studies and they were talking about, obviously it's a very saturated market, so I think that sticking to what you're doing and kind of being really true to what you and not trying to just go after kind of influencer marketing all the time. Obviously I see that a lot of people, especially people who are quite popular in Newcastle, kind of come in to see you to get their stuff done, but that's more off of quality and word of mouth. You're not getting them in for kind of free treatments, which I think sometimes, which is the issue with kind of places like Turkey. So.
Yeah. Absolutely, I think, when I first moved back to Newcastle, there was that element of messaging certain people, certain influential people as such, even like, who's getting the top engagement in Newcastle, let's message them, let's get them in. And it's just become less and less and less of that because you don't need to, I guess, the sort of more you're doing. Working right in the centre of Newcastle, it's easily accessible, so actually it starts to attract that anyway.
Yeah.
I think, I agree that I do think influencer marketing is becoming less, I know from the stuff that I've done, sometimes you'd expect a lot back off something. And when you actually look on your return on investments on some of the influencer marketing, you don't get anything back.
Yeah.
It's so low what you actually get back. And actually the person who came in, paid for the treatment, went out and posted about it because they were happy with the service, you always get a lot more work from that.
It's more authentic, isn't it?
It's just authentic, it's real.
Because you know that people are being genuine. If they've got no incentive to say it. Like when you see, I know it's slightly off topic, but coming from like the fitness background, coming from the fitness industry, and obviously I don't think there's anything wrong with this but all the boom bod things that you see. And you see people posting about it who clearly probably aren't using it and also don't genuinely believe in the product. And it even says #ad because it has to.
Now have to do that.
I'm not gonna go, amazing, I'm gonna get that when there's so much free content out there. So in terms of I like what you were saying about producing kind of stuff, educating people. So is that something that you kind of focus on, and do you think you get many people back from that, clients from?
Well, I get quite a lot of, especially via Instagram, I get a lot of inbox messages saying, I'm interested in this, can you give me a quote for this, can you, these sorts of questions. And very often I'll even just say to people, just look, send me a picture of your teeth. Send me a picture of your teeth and I might be able to advise. As I say, it's just about knocking those barriers down, and if someone's going to come and pay a consultation cost, and then they're going to come in and sit down and I'm going to say, your teeth need Invisalign, it's going to be £4,000. Some people need to be told that a lot earlier on, because they may just not have that sort of money and not want to be spending that sort of money. And if that's what they need, that's kind of what they need.
Yeah.
So it's not then that you're going to say, oh, well, I'll tell you what, we can just do this. No, if that's what they need, that's what they need. But I would rather say to them, look, go away, find someone who does it cheaper, or don't do anything. And then when it's right for you, then come in.
I feel like you're going to have your teeth for a very, very long time, hopefully. And I think that if it is something, for me personally, I think I'd rather know in myself that I was kind of getting the best that I could afford, rather than kind of going, oh, well, I'll get this now, I'll go and get a cheaper option. So do you find that, I know obviously I haven't seen any prices or anything from anything, but is it kind of something that you just kind of focus on, what am I trying to say here? Like, it's just the price that it is, obviously, like that's kind of a set price. But do you think that because of that, it kind of makes you more appealing? Or rather than you see, because what I'm trying to say is sometimes when I see stuff on social media about dentistry, it like goes straight into the price.
Yeah.
And it's like very clearly trying to be a cheaper alternative.
Yeah.
But do you find that your kind of way works better?
I think ultimately you're going to have two ways of doing it. You're either going to try and beat people on price, in which case it becomes a bit of a race to the bottom. Like, oh, I can charge this, I can charge less, I can charge even less. Or you can focus on the product, or you can focus on the quality or the value that is going to bring. And I think if you focus on the value, then you shouldn't then be having to lower your price and lower your price and lower your price. But I do think I'm not going to sit here and say I am the dentist for everyone.
Yeah.
Because some people come in and say to me, oh, I have an NHS dentist, and I look around the mouth, I might find some problems, and I'll generally just say to them, look, if you want to go back to your NHS dentist and have this treatment done, that's fine. Come back to me then when you're healthy and ready to do some cosmetic or something else. So some people are happy to pay the money on that. It's just what you value, I guess. Yeah. And everyone's different, and some people would say, talking about fitness, some people would say, well, oh, why do you pay for that gym membership? And that's just because we value the health and fitness side of things, and some other people just don't. I suppose that's just your personal values, really. Yeah,
no, definitely. So moving on slightly, so I know obviously it's one thing that kind of with you've obviously got a very busy schedule and stuff in being a dentist. I know that you, obviously we know each other from the gym, so I know that you kind of fit training in. How do you think that benefits you in your professional life, the fact that you're active?
I mean, something that probably a lot of people don't know is that, dentistry's got one of the highest suicide rates.
Yeah.
Dentistry with veterinary science, and so vets and dentists are both two of the, highest suicide rates. Why is that? I think, it's difficult to say. But I think it's therefore really important when you recognise that you're in such a high suicide industry that you really, really make sure you take good care of yourself.
Yeah.
From both a physical and a mental perspective. Obviously, they tie together so importantly. So I think personally, by being physically fit or making sure I care about these things and work towards these things, it also makes sure that I'm mentally healthy and mentally happy as well. So it's essential for me. It's not something that I can pick or choose. It's like a must.
Yeah.
Working out has to get done 3-4 times a week.
Yeah. And is that something that you kind of preach to other dentists that you work with, or is it uncommon in the industry to be very active, and I don't necessarily kind of link them together when I think about kind of healthcare professions, because I know that obviously a lot of hours can be quite difficult, especially if you're working in maybe a dental hospital or something that might be a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, every dentist has a different, some people work in busy NHS practices, seeing 40 patients a day, some work in high-end private practices, seeing 10 patients a day. And some people work in hospitals, everyone's is different. I suppose fundamentally all dentists went to university for 5 years. We trained pretty much alongside doctors as far as the basic medical sciences. So we are well aware of the health benefits of exercise, of how that's going to affect your body systems, your blood pressure, your stress, your risk of stroke, your risk of heart attack, etc., etc. So I think dentists are aware of that, and because of that, there's a growing community, particularly with Facebook and more private groups of dentists or healthcare people who are engaged with health and fitness. So yeah, I think it is growing, and it is something that I do preach within the industry because I think it's important. I think it's something that we should all put personally before our earnings or the first wealth is health.
Yeah, well, it kind of in any sort of industry, it's kind of out of the window now that you don't have time to look after yourself, and you should just be drilling it more, doing more and more and more and more work. Because obviously, what I found with a lot of industries is that, in fact, if you do take that time out to look after yourself, get active, eat well, exercise, you're actually going to be able to be better in the time that you are working, meaning that you don't have to work as much to get the same sort of results.
Yeah.
In terms of kind of staying motivated and kind of moving up, so obviously how long have you qualified for now?
2013, so I qualified about 6 years ago.
6 years ago, and obviously now you build up your online following, and loads of people, especially in the local area, know about you, so you've obviously progressed in that time quite significantly. I know that you won an award in 2017?
Yeah, so Best Young Dentist in 2017, and that was at the Dentistry Awards, but also Private Dentistry Awards as well, so it was...
How do you stay motivated, continue getting better and continue progressing because a lot of, I think with kind of those dentistry, doctor, all those sort of things that it's almost when you graduate, I don't know if this is just me looking up on the outside in, it's almost like you've made it when you graduate because you're going to go into an incredibly good job.
Yeah.
So how do you continue to kind of keep pushing on when you could have just easily went, I'm a dentist now?
I think it's the same with dentistry, it's the same with medicine, it's the same with becoming a PT. You become a PT and you could just be like, right, I'm a PT now, and that's it. Or you could be the sort of person that says, actually, this is just a start, and actually you qualify is actually just that license to say, right, you're free to do it now, and then there's that choice where you decide how well you want to do it. Continually learning has been important for me, so there's always something new in dentistry. Technology is changing, we're getting better equipment, we're getting digital scanners, photography, magnification, all these different things we can do now. So I think always learning has been a big part of it for me. So since I graduated, I was like, right, what's next? What do I need to learn about? What did I not learn about as a dental student? And that's obviously led me into things like Invisalign. From there then, I've also then had more opportunities then to the things that I've learned, I can then teach to others. So Invisalign, for example, I do some teaching with Invisalign, and so you're always getting driven from that really as well. Probably like yourself with teaching other fitness professionals, you're always learning something from them, but also giving so much back.
Do you feel like it increases your credibility, being the guy who's then teaching the next wave of kind of dentists doing Invisalign? Does it add an extra level of credibility? Because for me personally, if I was getting Invisalign, I'd want to go with the guy who's teaching it to the master almost, as opposed to people who have recently kind of qualified.
No, absolutely. I think it's like awards, or it's always just looking at something that demonstrates your value as such. And so I think when you're showing others how to do certain things, it has some form of credibility, because actually then people look and think, well, if he's able to teach this person, it does kind of make more sense, I suppose, to try and see people like that. What's hard now is more and more dentists want to be cosmetic dentists.
Yeah.
which isn't a bad thing, but what it does do is you might have a dentist who does Invisalign and does 1 case a year. You might have a dentist who does Invisalign and does 100 cases a year. And I do think that when you see a dentist, or we're going to go do some sort of dentistry, it is worth knowing their experience in that specific field.
Yeah.
And that's not me just saying, oh, you should come to me for Invisalign because I do so much of it.
Even though you should.
But it's also me saying, if you do go see someone else, it's worth having that conversation with them.
Yeah.
And I was once upon a time, not that long ago really, I was a dentist who said, I've done 1 other case, I've done no other cases.
Yeah.
But I've always been transparent with that.
Yeah.
So if I was to do my first something different now, I would be telling the person I'm seeing that.
And full circle back to the social media presence. It's everything that you can do in a nutshell, in a couple of 100 pictures that people can pick through quite quickly. They can go, those teeth are similar to mine, and look what he's been able to do with them. That's being very transparent, and this is something that you've actually been able to achieve, which is why the big reason that I wanted to come and speak to you is dentistry isn't a millennial style industry like fitness is, like beauty is, like barbering is, like social media marketing is. I don't know how long there's been dentists around for. You probably do.
Yeah, for a long time.
Roughly?
Probably a long time.
Yeah, should we say over 100 years?
Pretty sure they have dentistry in Beamish. So
right, okay, so it's
you should definitely go there if you're based in the northeast.
It's a very old industry.
It's changed massively. It's changed quite a lot. You can chat to your parents about what the dentist was like.
Yeah.
And it's changed hugely.
And I think that you're able to kind of see the direction that it's going further and kind of get in there with your social media and kind of take it to that next level whereby you are combining something that's a very old industry. The roots and the foundations of dentistry are very deep, and there's a lot of people who've been in the industry for a long time who wouldn't really entertain the idea of going digital and going online because it's so foreign and alien to them. And then you can kind of inspire everyone who's qualifying now and coming through to kind of go, if you want to be visible, and if you want to be busy, and if you want to kind of make it to the next level, like I have in terms of kind of getting those awards and getting that credibility, then it's taking what you can do online so that straight away people can make a decision. If I go on Instagram and type in the dentist that I want to go to, you come up and I can see 100 case studies of what you've done. And then there's another person who doesn't even come up. I'm just going to naturally be drawn to that because I know that you can get results.
Yeah, and I think that's it. I think if you speak to older people in the profession, dentistry, they would literally be saying, I don't think it's professional, I think it's, and the word professional has always kind of made me laugh. Like, it's always been one of these words that whenever at dental school they didn't like something you did, they said, oh, that's not very professional. And to say it's not professional to connect with patients on their personal accounts, I can see the argument to that. But then that's so old-fashioned. It's such an old-fashioned way of thinking. And I actually think, what's wrong with connecting people on a personal sort of level. Even some of the dentists who are now starting to engage on social media, a lot of people start having these separate accounts for dentistry. This is my Dr. David Bretton account and this is my David Bretton account.
Yeah.
Personal and professional. And I don't even understand that because I think then, I don't believe that you can compartmentalise your life into a personal and professional role. And I don't believe anyone can do that and be genuine and be authentic.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't, that is who you are. It's who you are. I am the guy who, I go to the gym, I'm a dentist, I also do CrossFit, I also have a beautiful fiance and a dog, and that's all together mashed into being my life. And I think you are more genuine and authentic if you're actually this is me.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and I think that I've seen that a lot. Obviously, I'm trying to relate this back to other industries, but I see that a lot with fitness as well, where you'll see people with kind of a fitness Instagram and then a personal Instagram, and you just think, no, people want to see those parts. People want to see you.
Warts and all. You want everything.
Yeah.
Like if you're having, and then you look at the fitness Instagram, it's like healthy food everywhere. You go on the personal Instagram, you've got Domino's pizza. You're like, no, like that should be.
Yeah, show people because it is possible. Like I want to see I want to see everything. I want to see you eat some sweets,
Yeah.
even though you say that.
Like, what are you up to on a weekend?
Yeah.
You know, like, are you can't. I just don't think it's authentic and real to be like that. And I also see some people who get poor engagement, dentists who set up Instagram accounts. David, why is my Instagram account not really popular? And you look on it and it's just, I don't even know who they're targeting.
Yeah.
It's just so dental specific pictures and it's so...
Just teeth everywhere.
Yeah, I'm only going to ever have another dentist following you.
Yeah.
That's the only person who's
Yeah,
going to
you need
follow.
to show that personal side because people do 100. In this day and age, the people want to know who's behind everything. Back in the day, you wouldn't even know who the CEO of the big company is, but now they're the forefront of it. You want to see Richard Branson, you want to know what he's up to, you want to see Mark Zuckerberg, you want to know who the people are behind the machine. And I think that with dentistry as well and other industries that are like that, I don't know if there are any kind of legal professionals who are kind of online and open about it, like lawyers and stuff, but I think that could be another way that people could go and have a bit more of a presence and stuff because...
And also, like, you know, it's people want to do business with people they like that's just natural.
Yeah.
I could, you know, some things in dentistry, it doesn't matter, you know, who you were, you might do a filling on a back tooth exactly the same as another guy, but I would, you know, if you trust someone and I think that again comes back to being authentic. I think if someone's authentic and genuine, then they're more likely to be trustworthy.
Yeah, I think the main thing when it comes to kind of getting people to buy into you is people have to trust you, trust the product, and like you as well. So I think that's kind of by opening up and having a bit more of a presence online, then that is breaking down barriers straight away. So yeah, I think that's pretty much covers everything. Is there anything else that you think that...
No, as I say, it's nice to come and chat to you. I appreciate it's good that I am out there enough to be
definitely.
And you know, as I say, anyone has any questions about anything dental related, I'm always more than happy to receive that.
And I think this kind of will just show that no matter what your industry is, no matter what you're doing, you can always be kind of doing a little bit more and being more out there, and it will impact you positively. So it doesn't matter if you don't come from one of those specifically millennial style industries like fitness, beauty, things like that. You can literally have an online presence no matter what it is that you do. So
I think you've got an even better opportunity, to be honest, because it's just been ahead of that curve.
Yeah.
And actually, I think people who do look at other industries and see how they can use that into theirs, I think for sure it does give you an advantage over the people else in your profession.
Definitely. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Cheers.
I'm ducking and dodging the camera, 'cause they know that